Thanks so much. I appreciate that. It is good to be back home, stateside with everybody. And so let's go ahead and get right into it. I do want to try to help Jay make up some time here, but thank you so very much. Great to go ahead and see you guys as well. Thank you. So right now, let's get into this here. Just a couple reminders, though, trade does involve risk, not just reward. Take a screenshot of this. I think Jeanette's doing the best she can to record this. You can read this more for yourself later. Also, hypothetical results. If we talk about something hypothetical, you ask me about how I'd handle this situation or that situation into the future. That's hypothetical. That's why I like to talk about what I actually am doing and what I have just done, like these trading competitions over in Europe and stuff like that. Real money, real results, real issues. But just remember, hypothetical stuff, it's just that hypothetical and risky there. So if you trade stocks, options, futures, or Forex, and you day and swing trade, then this presentation is going to be really for you. If you're strictly a super long-term investor only, this presentation probably won't be for you. But anybody who's more active with their portfolios, day traders, swing traders, stocks, options, futures, Forex, this is for you. My name is Rob Hoffman, become a trader there, and proud to see that number go up a little bit here recently with winning 2 more of those trading competitions. Written a lot of articles. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the strategies that have gone into some of these articles today here. But this is the real reason why we want to be here from my perspective. We're talking about real money. I just won my 10th and 11th international trading competitions there, physical on-site competitions. So pretty excited about that. So that's about 27 in total, 16 domestic, 11 international. So a lot of people talk about trading, and not as many of us put our money out there. So in summary, I really trade. And that's important because having a sim account or not showing your trades, that's not live trading for you guys, gang. You risk your real money while, educators that don't necessarily put it out there. So I put it out there. But I do want to start off with a key thought here. If I'd known back in the 90s what I know now, my life would have been infinitely better, faster, and with way less heartache. And with that in mind, I really like to go ahead and share some of the concepts that I'm using here. We'll go into we'll do a deeper and deeper dive as the minutes go along. So here's a little bit about how I made some of the trading fun again, what we call the meat and middle trades from Champion Subs. That's one of the foundational tools that I use in my trading arsenal. So let's talk about first what we call the momentum shift with trend. The momentum shift with trend. What this is, it's a price pattern setup used to identify resumptions back into a trend, okay? So I'm going to also show you how to use some strategies in non-trending markets in a few minutes as well. So, we're going to do a whole bunch of different things here. When do I use it? It's in trending markets. Where is the entry? It's the close of the setup bar. That's going to be key. Where is my exit? It's a trailing stop or the next key support resistance level. We're going to talk about that as well. And where's the stop loss, which is typically a slow bleed back beyond the 20-period exponential moving average or slow speed lines based on your risk tolerance. 20-period exponential moving average gives you more chance or more room to grow, but also tighter, wider stops. The speed lines keeps it pretty close to the best. Key points to remember as I get ready to show you these tools. Know your entries, targets, and stop loss limits before you enter the trade. Unfortunately, we never get smarter once we get in the trade. And so with that being said, follow your risk trading plan to the T. Okay, so let's talk about some real-life examples of this in action. So what we're looking at here on the chart, we're going to talk about those momentum shifts with trends. I'm going to break this down. I'm just going to show you the last couple of days live trading room activity here and one of the trading competitions that I did here a week ago in Italy. So what we have here, these momentum shift with trends. The with trend ones are going to have little arrows on the bottom sides of them, okay? And so what these are is a short-term pullback. So we have an uptrend in place, and we have a little pullback. Now, these little pullbacks, what they do, they shake the spirit of a retail trader. How many times have you guys been here, right? It's Saturday morning here. How many of you have actually, been in a situation just this past week where you thought about taking a trade? Because boy, there were some good ones here here in the last week. Now, this was from the week before during the trading competition, but I'll show you the last 2 days. There were some great shorts in the last 2 days, but then the markets would pull back up. And how many of you didn't take a trade only to wish you had because the market went right back down again? In fact, let's just kind of flip right over here and take a look. This was Thursday in my live trading room, and the market went ahead and pushed down, pulled back up, and spooked a lot of people out of trades, only to go right back down again. So this is a kind of an important factor I want you guys to remember. So with that being said, I'm trying to identify those short-term pullbacks where it pulls back enough to trigger these momentum shifts, and then what I'm looking for is the market to say, "Ha, gotcha," and then push back in the direction of the trend. So the entry on these trades is at the close of these bars, where in an uptrend we have an arrow underneath. Okay, so any of these trades here that you see, these are entries at the close of those bars. All right, now then from there, let's go into this. So you can see here during the trading competition, what way do you guys think I was trading in the trading competition over in Europe there a week ago? So I was trading the DAX. Do you think I was long, or do you think I was short? Just based on this one little tool that we just talked about here. Absolutely long. That's right. I do not like counter trend trading. I like trade with the trend. So let's go ahead and look at then the last couple of days on different time frames, because people sometimes say, "Well, that's great, Rob. What about different time frames?" Well, so here we have a kind of a multi-day focus from the 19th all the way through the 20th, and this is a 15-minute chart. So it's the same kind of thing that we're looking for. As you can see, a momentum shift with trend. I'm looking at these short-term pullbacks against the trend, and then I'm looking for a resumption where these little arrows trigger off on the bottom side of this, going back into the direction of the trend. All right, these are called momentum shift with trends. All right, you see now in trading the last 2 days. Do you think I was going long or short the last 2 days based on these indicators? This is a momentum shift with trend to the downside, momentum shift with trend to the downside, momentum shift with trend to the downside. What way do you think I was trading live on the screen in front of my student family? Absolutely focusing on short, exactly. So the bottom line is these momentum shifts help identify these short-term pullbacks against the predominant trend, and then looking for resumptions. Okay, that was Thursday. Then this was Friday. Friday, same thing. Do you think I was long, or do you think I was short? Absolutely focusing on short side trades. Okay, so let's talk, before I move on to a couple different other strategies and tie all this together, talk about the trailing stop methodology. I want you to think in terms of 50, 80, 90 price, because we all battle with do I keep my stop wide and try to make a bunch of money, or what most of us find we do, we keep the stop wide and then we have a profit on the board, only to turn around and give back that profit, and in several cases actually turn it into a loss. So think about it in terms of 50, 80, 90 price. And in fact, this is a very personal story for me, because one of my largest loss, or actually my largest loss in my trading career, was a result of something I actually had a profit on the board, but I wanted a few $1,000s more profit before I went ahead and moved up my stop, and then the market broke out with news and tanked the market. And so had I had my trailing stop in there, I would have come out smelling like roses. So, this is something I developed many years ago after that. So 50, 80, 90 price, okay? It's designed to preserve a % of the profits, but allowing to trade a certain amount of room to reach the target. All right, so with that being said, what I want to do is set a target out into space, as I'm getting ready to trade. A couple of key ones I use: daily, weekly, monthly pivot points. That's a classic trader, floor trader pivot formula, by the way. That one works best from my perspective. Also, the 50-day, 200-day moving averages can be really great target points as well, both off of daily charts. That's where I usually use those, but on an intraday basis as well. A 200 2-minute chart, 200 period 5-minute chart can also be very powerful as well. So those tend to be targets. So what happens is, we're looking to identify a trade. This is where the trade, this case, was taken. And we're looking then to identify a target as well. So in this case, that was up here where this pivot is, and so that was basically equivalent over here. So remember what we said: think 50, 80, 90 price. So at first, when we get about 50% of the way to the target, want to trail by about 50% of profit earned. Okay, so let's go ahead and move to the next slide here. Then from there, what happens is as we get about 80% of the way to the target being up here, here's the current price, then I want to start trailing up about 80% of profit earned. So you see it's no longer 50%. It's now moving up much closer. Why? Well, what's more likely to statistically happen, gang, is you're coming up to a key resistance point. Many of you have found this out the hard way, right? Is it more likely to just keep going, or is it more likely to stop and reverse? It's far more likely to stop and reverse, right? And by the way, I encourage you guys to keep typing your answers, but I'm trying to help, Jeanette and the team make up some time here this morning. So, I will look for your answers to just make sure people are understanding things correctly, but I'm going to keep moving forward here. So as we go ahead and so now as we get up to the price, what happens is now I'm trailing by 90% of profit earned. So notice it's no longer 50%. It's not 80%. It's right up there, very close to the price. And then if it doesn't happen to be that 1 out of 10 times, 1 out of 12 times, where it will go up a little bit higher to trap in the retail traders and then come down, then what happens is I'll just move it right up underneath the price and wait to be taken out. So think about that in terms of then 50, 80, 90 price. Okay, so that's the trail and stop strategy. It's a way to allow something to run, but if it's going to stop and reverse, not go ahead and give up all the profits, because psychologically there's a lot to be said when you've gone ahead and had in fact, there's some very expensive 3-letter schools out there that go ahead and what they teach you is, nope, you just put your order out there, you put your target out there, you put your stop loss out there down below and let it run. And so many students that I've encountered over the years, like, well, it worked at first, it went up a little bit, and then it turned around, and I had a profit on the board and rolled over and became a full stop loss. So what I've learned over the time, it's better to take some of that profit versus having, because psychologically it causes so many problems when your profits turn to losses, because then you're like, well, just go back up to where it was and I'll get out of it, and then it gets worse and worse and becomes a big loss. All right, so with that being said, let's talk about the momentum shift breakout. What is this? It's a price pattern setup used opposite of conventional thinking as a methodology to capture resumptions. So I use this in trending environments again. The entry is 1 tick, 1 cent, 1 pip above the high or the low of the reversal signal, which I'll show you in a moment. Same trailing stop loss methodology I shared with you a little bit ago, and same stop loss slowly beyond the 20-period exponential moving average or beyond slow speed line. So you'll notice the big difference is where the entry is. The first one with trend is taken at the close of the bar. The breakout signals are taken 1 tick, 1 cent, 1 pip beyond the high or low of the reversal signal. So let's take a look at those. And before we do, don't forget, entries, targets, and stop loss limits, need to know those before you enter the trade. Commit to those, all right? Because once we get into the trade, fear and greed take over. So now what we're looking at, before we were talking about momentum shift with trends, right? So what this screen right here, just for those of you that joined a little bit later, I'm showing you here is from an actual competition in in Europe from a little over a week ago. So this was a great competition, and they brought in some last-minute traders to compete against me that recently won some big awards, and so just made it more and more interesting. I was fortunate to win once again. So before we talked about the momentum shift with trend, now what we're talking about is momentum shift breakouts. So before, we were waiting for the market to go up, pull back, and then the moment it started to go ahead and take back off again, when we were getting that signal, we were looking to go long. Well, so now what we're talking about is another variation of the entry. Think about these in terms of little pivots. So, in fact, let me just draw this on here. So what you have is you have these little pivot shifts back and forth. That's why I call them momentum shifts. So what I'm looking for is now, instead of trying to capture the trade right as it starts to go back up, the difference with this trade is it's taken a little bit further into the trade, but it has a little bit higher probability to it from the perspective that, okay, once it can cross through that barrier and make new highs, it's more likely to continue on. Okay, and so that's what we're going ahead and doing. So now, instead of trying to get the initial bar, but then run the risk of, if the market has started to trend sideways, and just kind of goes sideways here or potentially reverses, we're actually looking for it to actually show that it's making a higher high, which offers a statistical higher probability from my perspective to carry on. So that's what we're looking for here. Once again, both of these now are long side trades in the uptrend, right? Now the opposite is going to go ahead and be true in the downtrend, right? So here you can see the momentum shift breakdowns. So now you're looking to go short 1 tick, 1 cent, 1 pip below the low of those bars, right? Can you guys see them? So it's that short-term reversal against the predominant trend and looking to go ahead and get short. So you can see why Thursday and Friday, in live trading on the screen in front of students, I was going ahead and shorting. You can see why, during the trading competition in Europe in front of a huge audience, I was going ahead and going long, right? So I'm looking for these little continuation patterns, what I call the meet in the middle type continuation patterns, all right? Now, let's go ahead, because we took it to a new level then from there. And so we added in hedge fund and trending technology to help identify closer to tops and bottoms. So first of all, the hedge fund technology allows us to, that's these little red and green dots here, all right? So the red and green dots. Now, what we're doing with that is we're looking to identify, instead of these little spots for entries and re-entries in the middle here, we're looking to identify more of the major points of movement here, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight, just kind of circle all these. I used to circle these, and I don't do it now. I want you guys to see it as I'm just kind of drawing it out. So you see more major movements, okay, instead of the inter-bar movements. And you want those entries and re-entries from the momentum shifts. But then when people are trying to capture bigger moves, you really want to go ahead and have that. So so let's go ahead, and then we talked about trending technology. So trending technology, that's this whole area telling us, and this is going to be important when we're talking about sideways markets as well. I want you to notice these blue areas, okay? Because the blue areas will offer up sideways market trades, and then we're looking at but when we're red here, so the ideal scenario is a red dot, red bar, red dot, red bar in a downtrend, okay? Another way to use these dots is green dots in a downtrend. So think about this. We talked about momentum shift with trends a little bit ago. Now, then we talked about momentum shift breakouts. Think about that, these green and red dots the same way. So looking to go ahead and go short, when I have a red dot, red bar right there at the close of that bar. That's where I'm looking at going ahead and going short. Okay, some of them yield some really big profits, some of them not so much. That's trading, right? That's exactly what we're looking at. The other thing is that we're going ahead and looking at the green dots. Once we break below the green dots in a downtrend, that becomes a fresh re-entry, just like the momentum shift breakdowns. And you'll see several of those have some really good moves afterwards. So combining these two technologies of the trending and the hedge fund technology offers up some really great opportunities. So now let's go back and look at the real world charts from the last several days and see if you guys can figure out, once again, why we are trading the way we're trading. During the trading competition, notice what happened. We fired off a green dot, but you'll see that the bar was still blue here. So what I'm looking for is a green dot and then a green bar. All right. So the actual entry is actually taken over here from my perspective. Now, we'll go back and then say, well, if you missed that for whatever reason, notice that then you had a momentum shift with trend, momentum shift breakout, 2 more re-entry opportunities to get into this. Okay, then another momentum shift with trend, momentum shift breakout. Can you guys start to see this here? Does it make sense then why I was doing multiple long side DAX trades during the live trading competition and won that trading competition? Make sense? Okay, and then look right back over here. This was a little bit later. This was after the competition, but you'll see then we went back to a green dot, green bar scenario and broke above the red dot there as well in the uptrend. 2 very nice buy signals, which then led the market off to the upside again. Okay, now and you can see this in different time frames, different areas. You'll notice these little cyan dots. That's a really cool thing too, which we'll talk about in a little bit with the Ichimoku cloud, and Hubert will come in also and share more thoughts about that as well. But look what we're looking for here now. Green dots, green bars in an uptrend. Green dots, green bar in an uptrend. Green dots, green bar in an uptrend. Green dots, green bar. Okay? Breaking above the red dots in an uptrend. Breaking above the red dots in an uptrend. Breaking above the red dots in an uptrend. You guys starting to get this, the theme here? A lot of entry and re-entry opportunities, which is why this is a foundational tool of strategies that I use for trading. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at this again. Then again, we'll discuss magenta and cyan dots as we talk about Ichimoku cloud in just a few moments. But for the short side, what are we looking for here? Red dots, red bars, right? So we want to get a red dot, red bar. At that point, can short at the low of that bar, or we wait to take the trade's close of the first after the red dot, the red bar. Okay, and then again, now hopefully you'll start to see more and more. Oh wait, green dot in a downtrend, break below that. That's a fresh signal. So now you got this, these 2 different entry opportunities there. If you miss the major ones with the hedge fund technology, then you have the green dot, you have the red dot, momentum shift with trend, or the momentum shift breakout. So a lot of opportunities here for entries and re-entries. And then, so you can see now very clearly why I was focusing on short side trading Thursday. I mentioned Thursday because I just got back Wednesday afternoon, the evening from Europe after doing the trading competition. So I'm showing you the trading competition, then what I've been doing live in my real live environment since, getting back. Friday, same thing. Now you see it. Red dot, red bar. What do we look to do with that? Short. Exactly. Okay. Red dot, red bar. What are we looking to do with that? Short. Green dot in a downtrend. What are we looking to do? Short. Okay. 1 tick below the low of that bar that made the green dot. Okay. Very nice. Right? Okay. So then we took it to another level again. And with sideways markets, there's a whole opportunity. Remember what I told you about the blue, right? The blue is a really great indicator and opportunity for trade reentry. So what we do is when we start seeing blue, then what I start to do, I put on my favorite oscillators here and start to look for overbought, oversold conditions. See, most textbooks teach oscillators in overbought, oversold conditions, and then people get killed when they start doing those when the market's trending like this right here. Here, because if you use oscillators the way they're traditionally shown, you're going to get killed. The one time that it really does make sense, in my opinion, to use oscillators in the traditional, book-written fashion is when the indicators have the blue. So when you see the blue here, and then we go to a quick green bar scenario, then when we get overbought, I want to go ahead and, so you can see here, this is the same chart. So this is the chart with the blue. Now this is the chart with the oscillator here, and you see what happens? See how we had the blue, then you get a quick green and overbought condition. That's a great short opportunity from my perspective. Okay, then you go back to blue, you get a little bit of red, and you get the oversold condition. That's a great buy. You guys follow me? So the blue is an excellent indicator of where I want to start looking back to using oscillator type strategies in a sideways market condition rather than, like right over here where we're focusing primarily on actual trend trading. Does that make sense? You guys see that? So I'm going to be focusing on all these green dots in an uptrend, momentum shift with trends, momentum shift breakouts. I'm going to focus on all that where we're green and trending. That's a trending technology I was sharing with you. At the same time, then I'm going to focus on the oscillators in the sideways markets. And so, I've made some very huge gains in the live trading room here, using these sideways market conditions, several $1,000 type days in the live trading room using that strategy. So they've actually been some of the bigger winners because, the market has a lot of sideways market activity and then less trending. Once you get that trending, you can really go ahead and do some wonderful things there. Okay. Now, so then we took it to a whole new level again. Yes, again. My friend Hubert went ahead and has often told me, it's like, Rob, Ichimoku Cloud has so much opportunity, but I have these people, they just want to quickly buy right on a quick breakout. They don't put any other science into it, and it's like, you have any thoughts on that? And so we got together and we looked at, the core foundational champion setups with Ichimoku Cloud, and we were able to put together some really great systems to do that. So here, and I'm going to go ahead, and by the way, actually, I can just pull up, well, actually, you know what, I'll wait till I get to the Ichimoku Cloud, and I'll start showing like stocks as well and other things like that. So so like right here, here's a situation where with the Ichimoku Cloud, all right, so typically an Ichimoku Cloud buyer would often just buy this right on the breakout initially, all right? But a lot of times you'll get rejection on those. And so how do you identify and statistically increase the probabilities of success that it's going to continue? What we did was we add some filtering technology with the champion setups into the Ichimoku Cloud process. And so now that's why you start to see these cyan dots in an uptrend here, and magenta dots in the short side, okay? And of course, you'll see all the regular stuff, we've talked about before. You're above the cloud over here, you get a green dot, green bar, looking for a long, right? The momentum shift with trend, looking for the long, right? So, but now what we did was we added in some filtering technology to show that, hey, this is a higher probability opportunity. All right, so, looking at this here, and like this is overnight, this is overnight session. So I've got different time frames, different timings to show you this because a lot of people use this in Forex and that as well. So here we have the, the cyan dot for a long, then the market went in and took off very nice. You can see the other reentry opportunities I've already been showing you: green dot, green bar, green dot, green bar. You guys get the point. So stocks as well, same thing. So in this case, we did actually break right above, and it went ahead and tied in with the other work from the champion setups, and so it triggered an alert right there and then took off. And hopefully you guys can see several of the other entry and reentry opportunities here. So same thing. We actually had done an overnight champion traders course before, and you can see this. So it broke down over here with the magenta dot. That's the cloud breakdown buy, and then the market went down. Then it had the cyan dot, went back up. Then it had the magenta dot, went back down. Then it had the cyan dots, went back up. Okay. So what's nice though is you'll notice that with the Ichimoku Cloud, it gives you a couple different pieces of information, which Hubert will talk more about as well. But the trending and when you're more likely having a more legitimate break. So it goes on and on. I can show you lots of examples. I want to help make up some time, from our event here. But you'll understand the point that Ichimoku Cloud adds a whole new layer, and it's not just a simple break above. It has to be other filtering requirements, so sometimes it's going to take a little bit of time after it goes through the cloud to trigger off because we want to increase those probabilities. But you see what happens here. Doesn't matter. I've shown you different charts there, gold, DAX, etc., and I'm going to show you some more stocks in a minute as well. But you'll see that. So you'll see cloud entries and re-entries. You see the traditional green dot, green bar in the uptrend, green dot, then wait for the green bar, green dot, green bar, green dot, green bar. You guys get the point. Then you're looking to also break above red dots in the uptrend. Lots of entry re-entries. Momentum shift with trend. Momentum shift with trend. Is this making sense? Lots of entries and re-entries in these different markets, and then we also showed you how you can use it when it's in a sideways market condition. Well, so then what we did was we took all this and added scanners and watch lists to this process as well, because as you can imagine, watching several of your favorite instruments, can be very daunting without, some technological assistance. If you only trade a couple instruments, not a big deal, but when you go in and watch several, and so what we have is we actually added in there the scanners. So you have the different alerts that are there, whether it's cloud, the trend, the momentum shifts, the big hedge fund buy sells. We take all that together, and it really helps identify some great trading opportunities. So let's go ahead and actually, while we're here, let's, and that's really important, by the way, because when I'm doing trading competitions like I was in Europe, as you can imagine, there's a lot of things happening. You got these huge audiences. They're asking you what you're trading. They're challenging on why you're trading that. There's all this talking to all these different traders and what they're doing and that. So there's a lot going on. So it's important to go ahead and have these scanners. So like here's the actual scanner. This is the live scanner pulled up right now on the screen. So this isn't even the PowerPoint. This is right here. What do you notice about this? Well, so what I notice here is the daily chart of the DAX down. Hourly chart of DAX down. 2-minute chart of DAX down. 1-minute chart of DAX down. Let's go ahead and take a look at the DAX here yesterday afternoon. Take a look at that, gang. First of all, what do you notice? So here's a case in point. Notice how it took 3 bars after. It took 3 bars after we started going down below the Ichimoku cloud to go ahead and even trigger off a signal. But there it is. There's a signal yesterday afternoon. So you saw all those those great sell signals here that I was just showing you. So I said, this is all live. I'm moving around live charts right now so you guys can see it. This is obviously yesterday's closing data because the market's not open right now. But the point is that this is the real charts. And so you see what happened is we broke down below there. And then, by the way, what else do we have? Red dot, red bar. What are we supposed to do with that? Exactly, short. Red dot, red bar, short. Breaking down below green dot in the downtrend, looking at short. Momentum shift with trend, momentum shift with trend, momentum shift with trend, momentum shift breakdown, momentum shift breakdown. You guys see all the entry and re-entry opportunities yesterday afternoon, using those different scanners. So we got scanners and watch lists, which is really cool, on a lot of the different platforms for this. So now you're starting to see all these different opportunities, and now let's go back and look at this all again. You can see all these different entries as I'm building upon this. Why did I win that trading competition? Focusing on trading long. Right? Why did I go and make money, to Thursday morning and Friday morning with the shorts? Because following these foundational tools. So the reason why this is so perfect is because it's a foundational tool. It takes away a lot of the fear of undefined losses and the fear of missing out. Eliminates some of the greed because you know exactly that the next great trade is right around the corner. I've just shown you the last couple of days of my actual live trading in the trading room on why I was focusing short. I showed you why I was focusing on long in the DAX, and you saw the countless opportunities of entries, re-entries that were available to people. It will constantly remind you that your feelings and your opinions will hurt your P&L, and it'll make you come back to the champion setups. Provides you very simple and straightforward indications to identify buy and sell areas with very little training. So the bottom line is I've won competition after competition with this as of my foundation. Whether it's these ones domestically here in front of big audiences, the ones internationally, like in London and such. Over and over again. In New York, it goes Las Vegas, Italy. It goes on and on. So, we kind of talked about this. Well, it's that challenge. Okay, do you just talk about it or do you actually do it? Well, we've just kind of showed you here. Since I've been back, what I did during the trading competition itself, right? And then the Thursday and Friday right there being back in the live trading room. And hopefully now as I show you these examples, you're like, wow, that really makes sense. And so the what I want you guys to do as we get ready to turn it over to Hubert, I want you to think about this, and I want you to see this for yourself. And I've been saying this all along. I keep using these things to win trading competitions. That's the foundation of that process. And so here's how we can help. We want you to train with us. And this is Hubert, myself. We do a lot of long-range sniper school activity together, that takes precision. When you're shooting out at a bus, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds or 1,000+ yards out, depending on which weapon we're using and the range and what you're doing. But here, see the long range, we're shooting at little targets, little, head-sized targets, with a hostage and a hostage taker type situation inside a bus window at great distances. Precision is required, right? You can't be sloppy. Sloppy gets people killed. Sloppy makes bad things happen. So the reality is, we want you to trade like we shoot, Hubert and I have done trading competitions and different things like that, live trading events, and, he'll tell you how we've used that together. So, I want you to be one of our next students using some of these same strategies. I want you to hear more about some of these strategies as Hubert ties it in with Ichimoku. Real money, real trading, real results. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Hubert now, and I'll hold off to questions till the end. I want to let Hubert get his training out of the way. We're trying to make up some time. We started about 8 or 10 minutes later than we were supposed to, so we're trying to help make up some time here. But I'll get back to some of those great questions you guys are asking after my friend Hubert goes. Hubert, over to you.
If you can see my what does this work on slide, please give me a yes in the chat box. I'm going to skip my bio because I don't think my bio is that important anyway. Hopefully you already know me. If you don't, I am a fat redneck from Kentucky that knows how to trade. There's the short of it. That's quick and easy, right? Don't have to make it complicated. All right. So what Rob and I have done, Rob and I have been friends for a very long time, and we do go to a lot of shooting, long-range shooting and stuff like that, and we love doing stuff together. We're probably going to go back down again this year. I was just talking to Shannon's wife the other day, Rob, for the new renewal on our membership there. So we do a lot of that stuff. It's fun. We also work together. We'll try to figure out, like, hey man, how does your stuff work with my stuff? How does my stuff work with your stuff to increase our profitability for ourselves personally? And then once we find a really good combination that we like, then we're like, man, I'm killing it over here with this, and yeah, I'm killing it over here with it too. Then we start sharing it with our students and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to show you how our work can be used in conjunction. Feel free to take notes and stuff like that, and borrow and steal, the techniques and stuff that we're sharing with you today. So obviously you probably have a question like, what does this work on? Well, this works on stocks, options, futures, Forex, bonds, gold, cryptos. I'm going to give you a little Ichimoku 101 of one of my favorite setups, and then I'm going to show you this entire indicator package where it's kind of going to automate a lot of that stuff so that you can see it. Does it only work on minute charts? No, it works on whatever time frame you like. If you want to look on monthly, weekly, and daily charts, you can. If you want to look on intraday charts, you can do that too. So these are the back-tested results on Ichimoku, on the S&P 500, on the past 5 years. So when you look at it, in the stocks in the S&P 500, it worked on 430 out of 500. So it had about an 86% hit rate. So that's not too bad. Now, if you would have taken every single long, as Rob said, like when it went above the cloud, below the cloud, above the cloud, below the cloud, if you did every one of those, your return would be 33%. We're not going to do that. We're going to improve that by putting a filter mechanism in, and we're going to increase our potential rate of return from 33% to 79% by removing those counter trend trade signals and using that 3-day filter and the new hedge fund technology and the background color on the candles. And it's just a really complicated way of saying this right here. If you got a massive uptrend like this, what in the world, why would you short that? What you should do is buy it here and buy it here and buy it here and buy it here and buy it here. I don't want you to short here and cover here. That's craziness. Like you're going against the current. That's like trying to swim upstream on a river. You might be able to do it for a few strokes, but I bet you eventually will drown. All right. So that's across the S&P 500. And then if you trade currencies, it's been profitable on 29 currencies over the past 10 years. Now, you do have to use the little magic formula, a little recipe, right? Everybody's got their own little individual recipe. We use a daily, an hourly, and a 10-minute, and we use those multi-time frame analysis together to have overlap and go, okay, now it's a good signal. So you do have to use a filter mechanism for that. You can't just follow this stuff blindly. I wish you could, but you can't. Now, time frame selection, this is really, really important. This thing will work on, you can do yearly charts. You can do monthly charts, weekly charts, daily charts, hourly charts, minutes. You can use tick frames. I'm going to show you my favorites. They are by no means the best. It's just the ones that I like. You may like totally different ones, and I'm not going to criticize you for that. If that's what you like and that's what you're doing, as long as you're making money, I don't really care. I don't care which ones you like. These are the ones I like. All right? So if I'm looking at a daily time frame, you should see this slide right here. Does everybody see the daily chart? Then my time horizon right here at 0.1, my time horizon for this trade, I want to be in it for weeks of time, okay? If I'm looking at a daily chart, I'm probably going to be in that thing for a minimum of 2 weeks, probably more, okay? And then I know the cloud's going to extend for about 1 month. So that's going to be 20 trading days. If I'm looking at an hourly chart, and for you options traders out there, if you're looking at a daily chart, then you're going to be trading monthly options, all right, because you're going to be in it for weeks, all right? If you're looking at an hourly chart, I know I'm going to be in that thing for days, so that means I'm going to be in it for at least 3 days. It could be 3 days, it could be 21 days, it could be 90 days, right? But it's going to start out as at least a 2 or 3 day trade, and that's an hourly chart. If you're an options trader and you're trading options and you're looking at an hourly chart, you're going to trade weekly options. Pretty straightforward, right? Now, here on a minute chart, if I'm looking at a 10-minute, and you can go shorter time frame, and you can go substantially larger, just pick your potential poison that you want to drink, right? If I'm looking at a 10-minute time frame, I know I'm going to be in this trade for hours, and this is going to be good for probably a 4-hour trade, where this one over here, minimum, is going to be good for a 3-hour trade, or a three-day trade. So is everybody kosher? Does everybody understand the concept of, I'm going to look at whatever time frame I'm looking at, it has a corresponding time horizon and a minimum that this cloud's going to extend. This is going to help me a lot. So if the market's choppy and then I get an hourly buy signal, then I'm like, oh, well, I probably got 3 days to play with this. If I get an hourly sell signal, oh, I probably got about 3 days to play with this situation. All right, so this is what you want, is the #1 technique used in Japan. There's this #1 best-selling book 7 years in a row based upon this technology and this strategy. It's called Ichimoku. It's on all the free platforms out there and all the good ones. You're going to know exactly what's happening in seconds. It's designed, and I wish I invented it. I didn't. I'm one of the experts that tout it just because I like it so much, because I can take somebody that's never traded before, or somebody that's trading that's never really made any good money, and kind of condense. I can cut like 2 or 3 years off their lifespan of learning just by teaching them this strategy, going, look, here's how you need to look at a chart. And it's really good for that, okay? You would have been very old if you invented it. Yes, I would. It's designed to produce very clear signals, all right? But at first, it's going to be a little confusing, because it's just going to be weird, because if you've never seen it, it looks odd. You're like, man, it's kind of busy looking. But this is the edge for you now. How many of you have you ever used an indicator that showed you what happened in the past? Yeah, we all have, right? Tons of indicators do that, right? And indicators are usually a combination of price, momentum, or volume, and then you throw in a little seasoning there of your special little proprietariness. But we've all used indicators that worked in the past. You've probably had some indicators that's telling you, all right, this is what the price action is doing right now. There's very few indicators that will tell you with a probability, this is probably what's going to happen in the future. Now, they are Ichimoku, which I'm going to share with you today. There's Elliott Wave, and there's Fibonacci's. Now, fibs are good. Make sure you pick 1 or 2. Don't use all of them, because you're going to be confused. I like Ichimoku the best with combination with fibs. If you're an Elliott Wave guy, I try not to ding on them, but it's kind of weird. You could throw 10 Elliott Wave guys in a room and tell them to give you a count, and you'd have 3 different counts from them. And I'm like, man, it makes no sense. It should be more clinically like that. So there are good guys out there that do Elliott Waves. Friends with some of them. And instead of learning it, I just call them up and go, hey, man, what's the count? You think higher or lower? So that's how I do it. So first, do you see a black chart with a little blue ribbon running from the lower left to the upper right? Do you see that on your chart? Let me put on audience view here so I can see what you see. All right, cool. All right, so let's go through the theory real quick. The theory of Ichimoku is, number one, whatever you are trading, if it's above the blue thingy, which is called the cloud, so everybody type in CLOUD in your chat box right now. Excuse me. That's the cloud. And the reasoning for this is, if the price action is above that cloud, then we want to be bullish in nature. In other words, we want to be long. If the price action goes below that cloud, like in that instance right there, then we'd want to turn bearish. Okay, now, is it going to be perfect? No. Is it going to probably do better than you individually trying to figure it out? Yeah, it definitely will. So you can see it's going to act like a nice little fluffy cloud or a mini trampoline. Or it's not going to work, and that's information that you need to know. It's going to say, hey, it's breaking. So now we got to start thinking about maybe we want to change trends. Oh, no, it reversed on us. Nice little fluffy cloud, mini trampoline, mini trampoline, mini trampoline. So that's the first thing you have to know. The second piece of information, so we're going to do this step by step. So cloud, CLOUD. The next line here is called the turning line. And just think about that as a fast moving average. It's not a moving average. It's a midpoint average. So type in TURN into the chat box, TURN. And that's a 9-point midpoint average. And the theory there is, this is the fast one. So we're going to go fast. All right. It's going to come down there, slam, and just jump back off of it. Now, there's sometimes that it won't do that. It'll come down here and it'll take it out. And that's when the standard line comes in. So we've got the cloud, CLOUD. We have the turning line, the TURN. That's going to be the fast. This is going to be the slow, the cloud slow. This is going to be medium. This is going to be the STD, and that's going to be a medium top speed. So real quickly, type in STD. And STZ is just an abbreviation for standard line. All right. So if it breaks the yellow turning line, it's probably going to go to the standard line and then bounce off there. Now, if it breaks the yellow, the purple, both of the turning and the standard line, then it's got a good chance it's going to go either to the top of the cloud or the bottom of the cloud. So basically, these are all fallback points. If you're super, super aggressive, you'd be long here. I tend not to do that one. I tend to let it come back down here so I get a little bit of a discount. So I would be long here. I would be long here. And I would be long there. Then if I get 1, 2, or 3 bars below the cloud, heads up, I can't go long anymore until it gets back above the cloud, okay? I could start shorting things. And the last piece of information is the lagging line. So we've got the cloud, CLOUD. We have the turning line, TURN. We have the standard line. And then we have the lagging line. And the lagging line just lags price. Now, the cool thing about this is on this chart, when I took it, you can see the slant of the cloud saying, hey, I'm going to trade sideways to slightly higher in the future going forward. And if I do sell off, I should catch you right here and then bounce you off of that situation right there. Now, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. That's why you use stop losses. So Ichimoku cloud signals, lagging line crossing the cloud. Price crossing the cloud is the one we're going to talk about today in today's webinar. Price and lagging line touching the cloud spans crossing, the turning line, crossing the standard line. Those are all different signals. There's more than that. These are just some really common ones. All right, so when we're looking at this, you can see where the price line crosses the cloud. And this is the one we're going to talk about right there. So what we're doing is we're adding rules to the filter. And what we're doing is we're saying, number one, if we have 1 bar below the cloud, that's going to be an aggressive entry. 2 bars is going to be a moderate entry, and 3 bars is going to be a conservative entry. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get short here, and I'm going to stay short until I get back above the cloud here with 1 to 3 bars. Now you notice I didn't say we're going to short here and cover here. That stuff doesn't happen in real life. If I can get from here to here, I'll take that all day long. The meat in the middle is what we call that, okay? We don't want to leave a lot of meat on that chicken wing, all right? All right, so bullish signals. Price above the cloud are bullish. Price in the clouds are bullish if they come from the bullish side. The lagging line crossing the cloud is the main signal of trend change. Price crossing the cloud is an earlier but less reliable warning of the trend change. Price in the lagging line will often find support at the cloud's edges. Cloud spans crossing may be a sign that the trend is about to change. Be on the lookout for those thick clouds after a run up. It could also be a trend reversal. So those are some of the bullish signals. And the bearish signals are going to be the exact same, but in the opposite direction. So read that really quick. I'm going to grab another Halls and a drink of water. When you're done reading that slide, type in that you are done, and I'll move on to the next slide. I just need to make sure I lubricate my throat here. It's a little scratchy. So when you're done, just type in done. Oh, it's much better. That way I'm not coughing right in your ear. All right, so bearish signals are the evil twin of the bullish signals. They're just in the opposite direction, all right? All right, so let's move on. Can you explain thick clouds after a run? I'll show you on live charts. I can show you on live charts. Stop with the bourbon. The bourbon will actually help it, Robert, not hinder it. It would be an advantage. All right, multi-time frame analysis. Once again, I told you my favorite was daily, hourly, and 10-minute. Those are the ones I'm going to use to scan for in front of you today. Best stop still use above or below the cloud, parabolic SAR, or something that's going to automatically trail it for you. You can use Rob's technology. He told you about the mathematical formula that he uses to trail stops. That works really good too. All right. All right. Easy to follow 4-step process. Number 1, scan for price crossing the cloud or for trending markets. That's the first thing I do. This is the foundation of the stuff that I do and that Rob does. So this is the first step that we use. Now, do we use other proprietary stuff? Yeah, we do, but this is our foundation that we start from. I'm going to drill down to smaller time frames and let the system alert me to the trades that I want to take in that direction. And then I'm going to place the stop, and then I'm going to scale out or exit when it alerts me to do so. All right. So in this example, you see a chart of ALGN. So in this example, knowing what you know about Ichimoku, you would want to either be long at, hold on just a second here. Let me grab a pen. Ding, ding. You'd either want to be long at, oh, come on, don't let my pen mess up. All right. All right. You could go long 1. There's 2. There's 3. Okay. And you could start buying pullbacks at the turning line or the standard line, or the turning the left standard line, and then a cross back above. Kind of like Rob's continuation trades, right? So then what I do, that's a daily trade. I know this, without a doubt, is a massive uptrend that I want to play, okay? And I knew that once it crossed above here, like this right here. Now, I'm going to drill down into my smaller time frames, okay? Then I'm going to go from a daily to a 60. Now I'm looking for a 66. Now I'm looking for a 60-minute or 1-hour buy signal. So you can see right here, the green above the cloud, okay? And I'm also looking, I would have the cyan dot right there show up. I've got it off right now. Now, let's say I missed this right here. Here's where Rob's technology comes in. If you don't want to use the turning line and the standard line, then what you can do is you can use his signals right here. Boom. Boom, right there in that situation. This right here, boom, right there. You got these right here. And then if you want to use the hedge fund technology, they're the big dots, okay? So Rob's are the small ones, and then the hedge funds are going to give you reversals. In this situation, since I know that the daily is in a massive uptrend, the odds are I'm probably not going to short that bad boy back to the cloud here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let it rotate from green to cyan, back to red, back to cyan. All right, now I'm looking at green, and then I'm looking for green, and then a big hedge fund dot. Or if I miss that thing entirely again, I can wait and do a breakout above these signals here on Rob's small dots, okay? So there's multiple entries. Once you've established that you found something that's in a massive uptrend or a massive downtrend, then these things are going to give you re-entries, all right? But they're going to be mathematical re-entries. They're not going to be emotional re-entries where you're just chasing because you don't know what you're doing. All right, and then we look at a 5-minute chart, and then you can see here, this one is back on a 5. It went from green to cyan, back to green on the candles, and then there's a buy. There's a series of buys. Here's a series of buys. Now, when you look at this, I'm not going to sell at 0.2. In other words, I'm not going to short it. But if I'm long at 1, I have several different exits I can do. At 1, I can take it off. If I'm long, I can go exit, exit, exit. And if I miss this one down here, I'll also have some more re-entries that I can play with. Okay, at 3, 4, and at 3, 5, and 7. And then I'm looking for it to continue on. So remember, green candles mean up. Red candles mean down. The blue candles mean sideways, mambo jumbo. All right. And it's a good place for you to start looking for the transition of it continuing back either up or back to the downside. So in TradeStation, what I do is I have the scanner set up, and I'm going to show you it live the same way Rob did. And you can see here, I'm first scan for a daily and an hourly, and then I can have it set to a interval of 2 minutes, and then I can say, oh, I'm looking for sell, sell, sell. So there's sell, 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 okay? Or I'm looking for a buy, buy, buy in that situation, all right? So in this example, I've got NUE, sell, 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 down on the daily, and then I'm just looking for that 2 minute sell signal. Whatever time frame you want, you can use a 1 minute, you can use tick charts, you can use a 5 minute, a 10 minute. Mine are going to be daily, 60 and 10 minute, and this thing's just going to scan for me and spit me out some really good opportunities. So here's another example of soybeans. This is down and then this is up, and you can see boom, transition. Right there's a sell signal there, but it's blue, so I wouldn't take that first one. I would probably wait until I got this second sell signal right here. Or if I had another dot that had developed up right there, then I would put the line there the way Rob does, and then do a continuation trade or a resumption trade. All right. So I'm going to go live to charts. Let me show you how this works, because as great as PowerPoint is, it's a little useless when we need to look at live stuff. So no cherry picking, the good, the bad, the warts, and all. That's what I'm promising you here. So here you can see I've got CFMFT Pro, which means this is a collaboration between a hedge fund, Rob's proprietary stuff, and my proprietary stuff, and we've combined it all together in one package so that it makes it a lot easier to use. So first, you can see my interval, and all I have to do is if I'm coming over here, I can look at the futures markets, and I can say, ooh, TY on the 10-year, that's going to be a buy for me. So I know on the daily, that's a buy. Look, boop, right there, there's a buy. And then I can look at the smaller time frames, 60 and then 10. And then I know a lot of you still trade stocks and options, so I'm going to scroll down here. I can say cloud, buy, or sell. So let's look at AFL. So it's got a daily sell signal on it. The Ichimoku, you see the magenta dot there? Can everybody see the magenta dot? With a red candle, that one's the filter technology. That one's probably going to work better than the ones that don't have the magenta dot and the red candle. So then you can look at a 60-minute sell. Now remember, how many days did we say a 60-minute sell signal would be good for? Probably, right? You can't guarantee anything in trading, but how many days did we say? If we had a 60-minute sell signal, it's going to be good for how many hours? A 60-minute, how many days? Yeah, 3 to 5. So here you go. Here you go. Here's your sell signal right here. You see it right here? So this went below. There's your sell signal right there. All right. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You count that in 6 if you want, but you had a little filter criteria there. And then I can go down to the 10-minute time frame, just knowing that, oh, okay, well, I just want to be really, really easy on this stuff. And then I go, okay, here's a magenta on a 10-minute. There's a sell signal. If you missed, here are a couple other re-entries that you can try. Does that make sense? Let's do it for a couple others. Let's take a look at BEN. So these will be all sells. There's a sell. There's your sell right there. All right. And then I can do a 10-minute. There's my sell. On a 10-minute, how many hours am I probably going to have that are going to work for me there? I'm probably going to have 3, 4, 5 hours, right? On a 10-minute time frame, I'm going to have about 3 hours minimum. So you can see there's a sell, there's a sell, so there's a sell, and then it's going to start pushing lower for me. So let's look at BLK. These are all the scans live from Friday, and you can see there's a sell. This one right here on the 60, I would pass on that one because it's cyan. Okay, that's cyan, but the 10-minute still looks pretty good. I just have to know that the 60 minutes a little choppier. All right, let's go to eBay, EBAY. So this one is interesting. It tried to get above the cloud, couldn't on a daily, broke below. Okay, the 60 is definitely a sell. Look at that overhead resistance. And now look here. On this one, we're just waiting for this 10-minute to fire us off another sell signal if we trade this thing on Monday. All right. And you can see it had a nice little move here that you had caught the day before. Sell signal right here, red candle, magenta dot. And then if you missed that one, boom, you got another sell signal here, here. Make sense? Now let's switch to the buy side. BXP, that's Boston Properties. That is a green candle on the daily with a cyan dot. The 60 is rocking. That looks good all day long. Now, on this one, let's say that you missed this initial long right here, okay? You'd have to go all the way back here to a 10-minute to find that initial long. Well, that's Thursday. That's going to do you no good at all. All right. There's Thursday. This is Friday. So here's where Rob's technology comes in. And now you've got the other continuation and follow through dots that you can get those re-entry points on. Okay. Okay. Let me see here. We'll update your screen one more time. All right. So here's another thing. We got DO. This one I would pass on just because it's got that gap associated with it. It did gap above the cloud. It is a buy signal. The 60 looks good. The 10 looks good. But for my money, there's probably just going to be better stuff to trade. So you do have to know how to filter out stuff like that. But we teach all that stuff in the course. All right. And then you've got MAC. There's MAC. That looks way better than that last one. So the daily, hourly, 10-minute resumption of the trend signals there. Here you've got, look here, Procter & Gamble. Look here, Procter & Gamble, long, and a little bit sideways there. All right, and then Verizon. There's V. That's a daily, hourly, and a 10-minute buy signal with multiple re-entries on the daily. All right. So does it make sense how we use this stuff? We use it systematically. And if I wanted to just come over here and scan instead of for a daily, I could say, hey, just scan for 60-minute buy signals or sell signals. Just do it for 10 minutes. And this will give me, within a click of 2 buttons, I can just go like this right here. I can go cloud buys and sells, boom, 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 and I can filter for whatever I want to. You can see if you want to go for hedge fund buys and sells, you could filter by that. If you want to go through momentum shifts, boom, boom, you could filter for that. If you just want trend direction, boom, boom, you can click that button and you can go 1 for 1. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 all scans built into the platform. So, and it's pretty easy to use. Now, it is designed mainly for trend traders that likes to play breakouts and continuations. It's not really the best pullback indicator in the world, right? We prefer you trade the trend. We think it's going to be easier on you and it's going to be more profitable if you do that. Do you have the filter for Ninja? So let's go through that. So, is the scan done pre-market? The scan is done live. If you're doing it intraday, it'll do it live on the smaller time frames. It just does it live. If you want to do it pre-market, you can do that too. So here's something special that you can get to dramatically shorten your learning curve and get you up and running right away. The Momentum Shift Pro is one part of it. The Hedge Fund Pro, which is a part of it, and the Momentum Trender Indicator. So that's 3 different indicators that I know from previous when we have sold them has been minimum, even on specials, $997 a pop for each one of those bad boys, okay? But we've condensed them and we've combined them together. So you got the Momentum Shift Pro, the Hedge Fund Pro, and the Momentum Trend Indicators. Quickly and easily identify market drops and tops and bottoms. Easily identify trend continuation opportunities. Be able to identify institutional breakouts and pullbacks so that you can trade the best time frames and instruments to avoid the chop. It tells you when Rob wants to be long and short. And look, Rob has won more trading championships than anybody I know in the world. Does it work on ESCL, GC, and bonds? Yes, it does. What settings do you use for the cloud? The defaults. So that you know which side of the markets to be on. You're going to work smarter, not harder. And this is going to allow you to find better trades a lot quicker than you just hunting and pecking for them. And then it's also got our filter technology, so it's going to filter out some of those crappy trades for you. All right. Now, this is going to be set up so you do not have to waste any precious time staring at charts when you don't need to be there. And you can just filter out and pick the best trades that you need to be paying attention to. All right. Champion Setups Boot Camp, Trading Pack 1. Immediately delivered. It's an on-demand course, 16 hours of on-demand course to get you going right away. 16 hours of training and live training sessions designed to get you up and running, and you'll get the training that you need. Training Pack 2, Advanced Cloud Chart Secrets. I've never taught this anywhere else. We just did this one-time special. I haven't even carved it out and made it an individual a la carte course yet, but I did an advanced Ichimoku course. We've got our cloud charting secrets, and then we did an advanced cloud charting after that too. 15 hours of video, tutorials, PDFs, cheat sheets, bonus classes designed to make you an Ichimoku cloud charting expert. Rob's real way to trade the markets. Some of Rob's favorite setups for small lots that you can learn immediately and use right now. A simpler and easier way to trade so that you can go with the markets, not against them. You will know exactly what to do next so that you don't have to think so hard. When you get these strategies, everything else is going to get a lot easier and simpler to deal with. So if you're going to take Rob's proprietary setups that he uses to win all these championships, he's going to show you those and share those with you so that that's going to do nothing but improve your trading. All you got to do is just learn the setups, follow the colors, follow the trade setups that are placed right on your chart. It's really cool. All right. How to trade trends and trend reversals using institutional activity. Rob's proven strategies for both swing and day trades. Specific trades for scalpers and all-day positions. And then the biggest mistake that losing traders make and how to avoid them. How to find the best stops to use for profit risk so that you don't guess or worry about it ever again. How to pick the best time frame or tick frame for you to trade. And then how to use the momentum shift, the hedge fund trender pro, the momentum trender indicator that comes with the bootcamp to quickly identify the best trades and to potentially make a lot more money. Trading strategies that are the most profitable for Rob and his students right now. So you get all of that in the class plus all of those indicators as a package. So my way to trade the markets, proven setups to time the markets better, trading rules and indicator settings, checklist with cheat sheets, with entries and exits, with stops and targets, how to scan the markets for the good ones, how to filter out the duds so that you never guess what to do next, how to potentially minimize the risk, how to potentially maximize your gains. Everything is recorded and posted online, so you will not miss a thing, that you can have access to it immediately as you place your order. All right, here's a fraction of what you'll learn. Number one best-selling Ichimoku course on the market, 7 proven setups, trading rules and indicator settings, checklist with cheat sheets with entries and exits, stop losses and targets, how to scan the markets with Ichimoku, how to filter out the best trades. You will never guess. You will never have to guess about what you need to do next. It's either going to be long, short, or sit on your hands. How to avoid head fakes, plus the brand new advanced Ichimoku course, which we have only sold one time previous with this package. All right. Let me get to the next slide. So here is some examples of the Russell on a 10-minute chart. This is on eSignal. This is Rob's chart, and as you can see, it's working really well. And then this is the exactly the way that Rob made money in real money, real tools, real strategies using his examples. As you can see, the green candles, the green triangles, and the green dots. All right. Rob and I have cracked the code with this replicable formula that can be applied to help you find better trades. The creation of this process could make the big difference in your trading. You can potentially, in a relatively short amount of time, make a lot more money once you find better trades with a lot less hassle. So I hope you really, really get that one thing. This is some of the best stuff that I have and some of the best stuff that Rob has. We've combined it together, and it's the foundation that we use to scan the markets to find our trades with. All right. So obviously the question is, how do you apply this code and process to your trading? You have a choice. You can do it slow, using trial and error, taking some of what we shared with you today, or you can do it quickly using the championship setup indicator package. Is there live room as well? We did do live trading. So if you're interested in joining the other successful students that currently haven't used it, then you get 2 championship trading workshops with 16 hours of content, $9.97. Cloud Charting Secrets, 15 hours, $4.97. Momentum Shift Pro, $4.97. Momentum Trender Pro, $4.97. Hedge Fund Trender Pro, $9.97. Bonus 1 Cloud Trading Add-on Pack. And then scanners and watch lists available based upon the platform. Okay, that's a total. That's a $9.97 just for that. So that grand total would be $4,979. You can order it today for $9.97. The deadline is at 11:30. So you got 30 minutes to decide if you want it or not. Okay. So the link to order that is championship or I should say championsetups.com/win. We're using Rob's winning streak here. All right, so there you go. There is that. I've got a couple more slides here for you. Let me post this in here. All right, and go to the next slide. It is for 11 o'clock today, I think is the deadline. Yeah, 11:30. 11:30 is the deadline for today. All right, so there's some more charts. Here's the bonus watch list and scanners for platforms that support them. Number one question I'm getting is, what platforms do these work on? Let me get to that really quickly. I'll show you what those work for. Also, if you have any questions, you can email support@becomeabettertrader.com. Once again, you get the championship setup training workshop, the cloud charting secrets, momentum shift, momentum trender, hedge fund pro, cloud charting add-on pack, the scanners and watch list available on the platforms that support them. Your deadline is today at 11:30. Total for the package is $997. I can tell you from personal experience, I know that I have taken one of these myself, the hedge fund trender pro, and sold it for $997. And I know we've sold these over here for $997 too. So it's one heck of a deal. Is this for a lifetime? Yes. There is no recurring fees of any kind. Once you buy it, you own it for life. You are good to go. And like I said, this is the foundational information that Rob teaches and I teach, and we've combined them together into one sweet package. And we also threw you in there one little kick-ass little discount too. All right. So what platforms do they work on? Let me see if I can get to that slide. Available platforms: TradeStation 9.1, TradeStation 9.5, NinjaTrader 7, NinjaTrader 8, multi-charts with scanner. So in here, if it says with watch list, it'll say scanner, radar screen, and scanner. So just watch the notes. Multi-charts, MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, eSignal 10.6, eSignal 11, eSignal 12, Sierra Infinity with chart lists, and TOS, a.k.a. Ameritrade with a scanner and a watch list. So I'm going to leave that up there really quickly. Here's your URL, championsetups.com/win. What is the thickness of the cloud said? We will go over. So Ed, when I'm talking about that, when you're looking at that, I'll go back here. If you see this thick cloud right here, see how thick that cloud is? You have a higher chance of a reversal if it'll get through that thick cloud. Thin clouds are easy to get through, but if it gets through a thick cloud, the reversal sticks a little better. So that's what I was talking about right there. All right, there's your available platforms. Easy indicator installation videos, very easy. Installation guides, installation help, fantastic support to get you up and running really quick. Your chance to trade better now for only $997, championsetups.com/win. No more screwing around with you trying to figure this stuff out by yourself. Rob and I have taken our best stuff, our foundational material, to get you up and running really quickly so you can quit losing money. All right. So here's what's included in the Champion Setups Bootcamp Training Package 1, 16 hours of on-demand classes, and then we got another 15 hours of the Ichimoku stuff. So that's all included. Questions: how long will I have access to this course? Don't worry, everything is recorded and posted in the resource area. Will this work for day trading? Yes. Will this work for swing trading? Yes. Will this work if I have a day job? Yeah, you're just going to have to place the orders before you go to your job. Will this work if I have a small account? Yes. Rob's got an entire module on exactly how to trade this stuff if you have a small account. Can you guarantee my success? Hell no, we can't. I can't guarantee anything in life, and I damn sure can't guarantee anything in trading. But what we can do is we can guarantee that we will do the most thorough job we can to teach the material and teach you how we trade and how we try to make money day in and day out. It's all online trading. It's all on demand. It's all ready to go, so I can access the recordings for a long, long time. That's right, Benjamin, until either you die, I die, or Rob dies. Yes, exactly. I am not currently on any of those platforms. Will there be an additional platform to be added if needed? Transfer another program, any specific? Linda, what platform do you use? If you don't have one of the platforms that we use currently, I would probably just switch over to TOS. It's easy to switch over to, and it's really inexpensive. I like TradeStation. Rob likes eSignal and TradeStation and TOS. We all use a bunch of different platforms, but some platforms are closed, so you can't program for them. But all the ones that we did there, those were the most popular ones. We have used this profitably in stocks, options, futures, and the Forex markets. And once again, here is your order page, championsetups.com /win. Your special price today ends at 11:30. So in 28 minutes, it's $9.97. Okay, $9.97 for the next 28 minutes. All right. So Rob and I are going to answer your questions. Do you have a payment plan? That's a good question, Greg. I don't know. Let me check the order page real quick. I don't know if there is or not. I don't think there is. Is there, Rob?
No, there's not. There's not. It's such a low price for all that value we gave. It's a great question. Let me just show you something, if I can, Greg. Here, if you don't mind, I'll take the screen just for a moment.
Grab it.
Because here's all this that comes with this. You have all these different courses, these modules, 2-hour on-demand training with Rob, live session with Hubert on Ichigo Cloud Module 2 here, live training session with Hubert Module 3, teaching session with Hubert Rob Module 4, live teaching session with Hubert Rob Module 5, live training session with Hubert Rob Module 6, live teaching session with Hubert Rob Module 7, live teaching session with Hubert Module 8, 2-hour special training with Rob Module 9, CMFT Pro live trading event with Rob Module 10, and then, the other indicator resources. Then Hubert, you got the Ichigo Cloud Secrets, you got the workshop here, you've got part 1, part 2, part 3, reviews 1 and 2, you've got other little tools, how to use these with certain platforms. By the way, this is available for TradeStation 10 as well. That wasn't on there, but it's available for TradeStation 10 as well. And then look at all these bonus recorded sessions: May, June, July, October, November, live trading room recaps, Technical Tuesdays, live trading room recaps, each bonus class, even last month. Look at all these different things. So you got all this different knowledge and wealth of knowledge here. So the value, the cost proposition here is unbelievable, because especially when I just showed you a little bit ago how I use these strategies in the live trading competition here in Europe here just a week ago, live real money trading against other competitors. And I won my 27th competition there, here on Thursday and Friday, we showed you the same exact strategies. How I was trading. If you were in my live trading room, you watched me execute short side trades, right? And, we talked about this. There's a lot of value that comes with it. So, huge discount, for such a valuable thing. Most people talk about trading. We actually do it. So there's not a payment plan for something that we discounted several $1,000s there. It's a way for you to go ahead and realize the value and grow with our family here.
All right, so got a couple questions here. Why are you guys selling it so cheaply? If you sold one of these before at $9.97, I'm just paraphrasing the question. It's a good question. So what we're trying to do here is give you guys a real good foundation to start with, and we hope that you guys have a really good buying experience with both myself and Rob, and then that will open up the door for you potentially wanting to purchase some of our more advanced materials once you get through the foundation that we use. So that's why we do it. We try to give people some really good deals, and we want to have customers for the long haul, for a long-term relationship, not just the short term. So that's why we do things like that. It's a good question, though. If using Ninja platform, can it be installed on more than one computer? Yes, you should be fine on that. Just in case I missed the question, is there a live trading room with this? Well, we did live trading. That was it is now on demand for you. But Rob and I were what we were thinking about throwing in there. Anybody that orders, we will do a live Q&A session with some with a little bit of live trading with you guys. We don't have any problems with that. I mean, we trade live every day, so it's not a big deal for us to do that. How long do we have access to Trading Tuesdays? I think in there you get access to it for like 4 weeks or something like that. Can I order by phone on this order? Not today. Rob and I have given both of our teams off this weekend. So just a URL link, but you have the backing of both Rob's companies and my companies. So we're both standing behind it. So if you need to call either one of them on Monday, our offices will be open and our team will be there to support you. But today you can only order through that link, championsetups.com/win, and only for the next about 25 minutes. Yep. How much does it cost to switch from one platform to another, to buy one platform? There, I'm gonna let you answer that, Rob. I don't know how your team is handling that. If they want to switch from like TradeStation to eSignal, what's the cost involved?
At this point, we found most people are respectful and they don't abuse that, and they're not changing every week. So we've actually just offered that complimentary.
Cool. That's what we do too. So no charge if you're going to switch from something like that. Can we get a recording of this session? Trade Thirsty as a company will send out a recording of this after all the speakers have been done their presentation. I think me and Rob, we got about 5 more minutes here, and then we're ready to go. We're done. We're just trying to keep them on time here. All right. What other questions here? Okay. Oh, show futures example on the ES. Hold on. I'll grab what Rob, you want to do it on the ES?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Give me just a second here.
I'm going to keep answering questions as Rob shows it on the ES. How long do we have access to it? Life. It's a lifetime thing. I bought the hedge fund trader and indicators from TOP and Hewitt. Thank you. Appreciate that. Does this work on... I've never heard of that platform. So no, that doesn't work on that one. You'd have to email support for that. Sharish. I know I butchered your name. All right, let me see here. Will this work on options? Yes, you can trade the underlying and also options with it. It works on stocks, options, futures, forex, bonds, currencies. How much is this again? It is $997. And I will tell you from personal experience, I have sold 1, 2, 3 of those indicators personally ourselves for a minimum of $997 without 2 different workshops with me and Rob. And then also I have never resold the advanced Ichimoku course yet. I only done it in conjunction with my good buddy Rob, and it's part of this package, and I haven't even sold it individually myself yet. I have your Ichi Hubert. Is it the same? No, yes. One part of it is the same, and then I did another advanced class on Ichi. So I did the original Ichimoku Cloud Charting Secrets, and then I did an advanced version of that. Yes. So the answer is yes and no. One part of the Ichi is the standard Ichi, and then I did a whole nother advanced class because I was developing up an advanced class to resell, and I've just never released it. I just kept it a part of this package. So you can't even get it anywhere else that I know of. You can't even get it from me because I don't even sell it.
And Hubert, as we go to wrap up, try to help Jeanette get back on track. So what we'll do is we'll set up for all the people that buy today. We'll set up a special follow-up class to go ahead and do a little live teaching, live training, live trading if we set up during the actual trading hours there. So that'll just be a one-off class as a follow-up to all the other, videos of live trading that we did and training and everything else. Just so it's kind of one-off.
So you guys are going to get all the on-demand, and then me and Rob are going to do another live Q&A and live trading with this. So you get 2 for the price of 1. There you go. So not only do you get all the on-demand stuff, we're going to do 1 session of live trading and live Q&A to follow up with you. So you got a better deal than we initially plan to give you. Your deadline is 11:30 a.m. today. Your price will be $997. There is you a screenshot on Rob's charts, and that's the S&P Mini on eSignal right there. Well, I'm gonna say bye to you guys. Good luck. Hope it helps. I'm gonna let Rob take over, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
All right. And yeah, Hubert, they were asking for the link one more time. If you could post that up, because I don't have that on here. I'm just showing live charts. So gotcha. Yeah, so this is so if you guys do that, great. Sunil, it's till 11:30 Eastern time, so like 22 minutes. So here's the S&P. So here's the cloud, and then you'll notice these little magenta dots. That's the cloud sell signals, right? Then here we had on top of that the momentum shift with trend breakdown, momentum shift with trend, then momentum shift breakdown here, momentum shift with trend breakdown, and then you have the hedge fund signals here at the green dots. So you see all that stuff that we were kind of showing before here. So you see all the short re-entry, short opportunities on the way down here. But this is really actually great that you mentioned it, because now you can see the transitionary process. So now you start to see the cloud signals back to the buy side here, and then green taking place here, green dot, green bar. What are we looking to do? Go long. Momentum shift with trend. What are you looking to do? Go long. Momentum shift with trend. Go long. Green dot, green bar, looking to go long. Break above the momentum shift breakout, go long. Break above a red dot in an uptrend, go long. So you can see the ongoing, the whole transitionary cycle of breaking down the signals with the cloud portion, all the different trading strategies I showed earlier, kind of all kicking in here. Then to the upside, you can see the transition back to the buy side. So went ahead and thanks, Reg. There it says I'm getting Cuban cigars for Rob. Reg, I actually talked about that before, so please, looking forward to that. Actually, a friend of mine is big aficionado. I was telling him about you, so I'm looking forward to those. But yeah, does that make sense? So, Hero, I'm not sure who was asking about the S&P there, but there's the S&P here, and so there's your transitionary process as well. So you can see the sell sides, all the different sell signals we taught you throughout this event, and then the buy side. Okay, so I'll leave it at that, and then hopefully you guys got the link back in there that we're asking for that. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. After going ahead and winning 2 more, international trading competitions here just over a week ago, real money, real trading, real results, not just this hypothetical funny money stuff, people that talk about trading, real deal stuff here. And so I'm proud and honored to go ahead and have done that, taking home 2 more of those international awards. And I'm really excited to go ahead and be here with you guys and celebrating that and trying to give you guys something very special here. So thank you very much for being here on your Saturday with us. Try to give you lots of value, and we're going to turn it back over now to Jeanette. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Take care, everybody.